you giving shots at Toradol?
Absolutely. Right before the game,
We actually have, Bryant, in the medical records that we reviewed, evidence that the team regularly injected Antonio with Toradol, so he couldn't feel the damage that he was doing to his ankle until it got to that threshold point where he told his coach, I can't play because of my ankle. The coach's response to that is get the F off.
Hey, welcome to Interesting to See, your daily sports podcast about news, narratives, takes, and gambling. I am Nick. Little clunky open there. That's my bad. That's Antonio Brown and his lawyer, Sean Burstyn, appearing on Real Sports on HBO with Bryant Gumbel, talking about what happened with Bruce Arians and whatnot when he burst off the sideline, which was hilarious for all of us. But the matter appears far from over. That's for sure. Welcome to the show today. We're going to get some takes. There's some take quicks going on out there. We're going to start with Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow, who played in the western side of the SEC, which includes Alabama, Auburn, LSU, Ole Miss, Arkansas, and Mississippi State. The SEC also includes Tennessee, Florida, and Georgia. So months ago, he was asked about playing in NFL stadiums, and he said, quote, "It gets way louder in the SEC than in any of these NFL stadiums." That's just factually correct. And then a bunch of Kansas City people were like really fussy. They're like, he doesn't know what's coming for him. He's in for a rude awakening. No, he's not. Kansas City's stadium's capacity is 76,000. LSU holds 90-something thousand. That's at home games. At home games, I bet he had a tougher time getting the crowd to quiet down than Kansas City has ever been loud. He played at Alabama. There were over 100,000 people at Alabama. He won that game. It is not louder. And they're college kids. They're drunker. I don't care. This is one of the most interesting things about pro football teams. They think that their fan base, just because the NFL game and product is better than college football, no, the stadiums are much, 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 much bigger. There are 5 teams in the SEC West with bigger stadiums than Kansas City. That means right now, well, that's the weird thing, not bigger. They just have more capacity because they have bleacher seats. That means right now, at this moment, Kansas City is tied for the 6th biggest stadium in the SEC West. Only Ole Miss and Mississippi State have fewer, and Ole Miss is close. I love take quicks. Take quicks are just the best. And positive news, we talked about this yesterday. We'll talk about it today. Keith Yandle sets the all-time Ironman record. Consecutive games played in the National Hockey League, over 11, nearly 12 straight years without missing a hockey game. That is just, frankly, preposterous in today's day and age with all the hitting and all the youngsters out there. It's just incredible. Allegedly, we have a Twitter. No, it's just a GIF. No, okay, fine. Unbelievable. Oh, here's the standing ovation. So he did it against the Islanders. He played in the New York area, not the Islanders, but it's a nice team to have done it against. Let's see what this is like. Okay, so that's the bad audio. Oh, here's the ovation. Should be a bigger deal. Remember when Cal Ripken did it and it was like a whole day? Hockey is so bad at taking advantage of moments. God, that's actually embarrassing. All right, it's getting a little better. And I guess it would have been better if he did it in Philly and then they could have just booed the team. But that was overall pretty disappointing. We got news on the Al Michaels front. We talked all year that we hear that Amazon, Fox, various places are pursuing him for Thursday Night Football, but now we're hearing whispers that ESPN is pursuing him for Monday Night Football, which I love that. Let's get him back on Monday Night Football. I think that people should try to find some younger talent, but every time you watch NFL Sunday, there is no younger talent. Everybody's just not very good at this, and I don't know what else to say about that. I mean, this is why these people keep getting opportunities. They don't know what to say about that. Sean Payton announced he's stepping away from football yesterday. The head coach of the New Orleans Saints has been there for a long time. The last 4 years, of playoff football for Sean Payton have been the most they're nut punches what's happened to him. So here's a little image I found on Twitter from a guy named Josh. What's up, Josh? So in the upper left-hand corner, we see the Minneapolis Miracle, where the Saints had a huge lead, then the Vikings came, or the Vikings had a huge lead, the Saints came all the way back, and then the Vikings went on the miracle play to Stephon Diggs, where whichever rookie, I forget who it was, doesn't know how to tackle. Then the next year was the insane pass interference by Nicole Roby-Coleman in the NFC Championship game that would have won the game. The Saints, it would have been over. It would have been factually too hard for the Rams to come back. And then the third year, so that's Minneapolis Miracle, then overtime loss on terrible call, and then the next year, overtime loss on Kyle Rudolph. He pushed off Kyle Rudolph in the end zone to score the game-winning touchdown for the Vikings. And that was the year that pass interference was reviewable because of the previous year, because of the Saints. And this year, the lower right-hand corner is Kevin James, who has been cast as Sean Payton. God, I have it on YouTube. You can see it if you want to check it out. Look at, and then, I honestly, everyone's like, this is such a terrible casting. I disagree. I don't think it's that bad. But the thing that happened last year was that after destroying the eventual Super Bowl champion Tampa Bay Bucks twice in the regular season, they found a way to lose to them because someone who never fumbled. I think it was Jared Cook. He never fumbles. So Sean Payton's like, I just can't do it anymore. So he's taking a leave of absence. He's stepping away. He's not the coach of the Saints anymore. And it looks like he's going to mull just total retirement. So they're looking for a new head coach. He's not the coach anymore. The way that it'll work is maybe he'll be retired, maybe something else will happen, but it's not super straightforward, but it'll be something along those lines. The NFL, people say the NFL is king. That's not true. The NFL is not king. The NFL is God. The ratings are out for this last weekend of football that everybody says was immaculate, and fellas, ladies and gentlemen, they are crazy. So the Sunday Chiefs-Bills game averaged 42.7 million viewers, which is the most watched divisional playoff game in 5 years. 42.7 million. 90% of all registered televisions in Kansas City were turned to the game. 90%. The night before, the Saturday night marquee game between the Niners and the Packers had 36.9 million viewers. So think about this. There were 36.9 million viewers last night, or on Saturday night. That's more than 10 million viewers in the same time window the year before. That 10.6 million difference, the difference between 2021 and 2022 is bigger than the Oscars and the NBA Finals. The difference. That's fucking crazy. That is crazy. The NFL is God. We knew that there would be overtime takes. What's really interesting about this, and I forgot about this, but we talked about it happening to Matt Ryan in the Super Bowl and it happened to Patrick Mahomes. But what happened to Patrick Mahomes is the Chiefs proposed a rule change. The irony of that. Because it happened in 2019 to Mahomes, or 2018, they proposed a rule change and no one cared, and now the Chiefs are like, well, we tried to warn you people. And Andy Reid after the game said, yeah, I would be down with an overtime rule change. John Harbaugh of the Baltimore Ravens has proposed a game theoretical rule change that perhaps we can get into on a game theory podcast, of which I am a host. The game theoretical rule change is as follows. When you have overtime, the two coaches or captains would bid. They would both enter a bid on where the ball should be. The team that enters the bid closest to the goal line, their own goal line, wins. So if I say I wanted the 50 and then my opponent said I wanted the 49, then they would do that. That's called the traveler's dilemma. So theoretically, the only place to start is the 2. But then you get the ball and then you have to score or something. So that's an interesting solution. Other solutions that were out there, one that I really liked that was kind of crazy was put 2 games on simultaneously. Start them both at the 40 back to back. If you go backwards 10 yards, like if you have to scramble backwards for 10 yards, that's a safety. So one team is going to the left and one team is going to the right, like practice. I don't think that person was not serious, but that's hilarious. I love that. We've got some news in the coaching carousel stuff. I I really don't want to get into it right now. There's going to be a lot of stuff happening. I know that the Bears hired the Chiefs guy, Poles, I think is his name. Jim Caldwell is the rumored head coach of the Chicago Bears. Other hires, we talked about McAdoo. Byron Leftwich has apparently, people think that he is going to be the next head coach of the Jaguars. That's starting to surface now. It's not official. It's like nobody important has tweeted it yet. Like it's not official. We're going to get out of here on this. Kelly Karen Stafford did an interview, as she does, and she said, quote, Ndamukong Suh really dislikes Matthew, and we don't know why. I feel like he's the only player in this league who really dislikes Matthew, and we don't know why. Now you can actually dislike him for... Now he can actually dislike him for a freaking reason. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and that's all I'm going to say. I wish Suh the best. I really do. His family is always so kind, but come on, dude. Y'all were teammates at one point. That really bothered me. I just don't get it. It disappoints me in a way it was Suh. Maybe we'll figure it out. Maybe there's a reason to let... Karen, you're the reason. Oh, God. All right, that's it for Interesting to See. I'll be back and better than ever tomorrow morning. We'll start to get into previewing games and a bunch of other stuff, too.